Hey, hey, hey. It's Filter Free Friday, y'all. Listen, I am so glad y'all are here. Um, if you don't know, I feel fairly new to this empathy and feelings thing. My girlfriend Mo said years ago. Um, she was like, you're gonna have to feel the feeling. And I thought that today, that I would help y'all not do some of the things that I have often done. I used to say whenever someone would ask me how I'm doing, I'd say fantastic. And my reason for saying fantastic is that I had emotionally shut down. It's like, look, my system is hitting the brakes because it's overwhelmed. It's been just too many losses. This morning I just realized I learned that one of my work comrades had passed away. And I don't know, I worked with this woman for 4 years in the research labs, and she was just at my birthday party last year. And this morning I learned that she was actually murdered by her grandson. But that's coming on the heels of what might seem like a insignificant loss. The place where I matriculated through professionally is going to be demolished to make way for a ballpark. It's the perfect spot, right? Like intellectually, I know that it's the perfect spot, but emotionally, I can't even imagine that building not being there. But you know what else? In addition to shutting down, I don't know if you do this, but avoiding things like this whole social media scrolling, and I get the oxymoronic nature of the fact that I'm on social media right now. But like when we binge watching stuff, we constantly busy. One thing I try to do, people say, "Are you busy?" I try not to be, because I recognize that when I have compounded loss after loss after loss, man, listen, my mama been gone for a minute, but my brother's only been gone for a little bit. Then, you've got, yeah, it's the older you get, one of the negatives, if I might call it a negative, is that people gonna keep dying on you, man. They're gonna keep dying on you. And those relationships um become the ones that are more and more important to you. And it's like they call it like layered loss, because you haven't had a chance to get over one yet. And if you have defense mechanisms, right, like, and we don't always see all of these the same, because micromanaging stuff, being super rigid, trying to make everything perfect, it's like what I noticed I was trying to do was trying to create some kind of certainty, something I could put my hands around, because you can't control when somebody gonna show up and tell you that somebody has died suddenly. Today is the homegoing celebration for my friend Mary Beth Brenneman, and she was a critical component for grandparents against or for gun safety. And it's funny because um, early on, I noticed that I had super low tolerance for people. Like when folks were just like yelling and screaming into the void about homicide numbers, I was thinking about Mary Beth. And anger sometimes feels easier than sadness. Anger feels easier than saying I'm afraid. Anger feels easier than saying I'm helpless to save my friend, right? Like that's that's when you're using anger as a shield. And I have spent a lot of time in therapy, so I don't tend to self-medicate, but I tell you what else I do, and that's trying to please everybody in these moments. When you when the world is falling apart, and that's what it be feeling like. Because the other thing that I will sometimes do is just like isolate myself. Let me not even get close to people, because if I get too close, then they could die too. They could get brain cancer too. They could be killed too. And it just feels easier. It's like protecting yourself from the overwhelm. And one thing that I think many times people don't recognize, especially those of us who happen to be Christian like me, is that when we just gonna spiritually bypass it. We're gonna look for the lesson right away. We're gonna say, let me find God in it right away. And I tell you, we got to be careful. We got to make meaning of things slower sometimes, because you don't owe meaning in the middle of a grief cycle. And if we don't understand that that is could be a coping mechanism, but sometimes it's a defense mechanism to keep us from feeling what we actually feel. And those of you who have been feelers your whole life, been in this emotional space your whole life, it could be very difficult to show up consistently when you continually have these losses. And so, what I've learned, and this is just what I've learned, I am not a therapist, but grief is not just emotional. It is not just emotional. Grief is physiological. It shows up in the body. And so just walking, sitting outside to get some sun, I anybody who knows me well knows I'm gonna get my daggone my sleep, my 8 hours of sleep. And whatever your like morning ritual is, it ain't even gotta be long, but you gotta have some kind of ritual. I spend probably 2 hours a day on my morning routine, and I recognize the privilege in that. But when I didn't have that privilege, what I used to do was just, what were my first 5 things that I was going to do the same every day? And when I think about what I wanted to say to you all today, it's really just that we have these massive losses, and we have little losses every day as well. And you got to be well, sugar. You don't have to process every single one of these losses fully, immediately. Sometimes it starts to feel like what the terms say, bereavement overload, right? Compounded grief. And if you can just think about what needs my attention today, focus. The tool of the enemy has always been the same: distract, divide, destroy. And to keep our ability to move forward, remember that you cannot isolate yourself, sugar. We move better together. Remember that this whole scrolling, binge watching, that is a defense mechanism. Find you something else to do. Eat real food, not too much. Get some sun. Those things. Create some small anchors that you can put yourself around. Watch the music you listen to. Pray. Make time for these things. And then, stop with the intellectual numbing. Whether that's, there's a reason for everything, trying to find a lesson too fast. All of these things, and I just wanted to leave that with you, in the spirit of my beautiful Jewish friend, Lynn. Man, I'm sure going to miss her. And in the spirit of my beautiful friend, Mary Beth, I'm sure going to miss her. And in honor of my mother, who would have been 80 this week had not been murdered. So listen, y'all, take care of yourselves, because the world needs you here. And if you have opened your heart up, sometimes it breaks right open. And I know that it's always for good reason. There ain't no clean step-by-step playbook, but there are things that we can do to stabilize ourselves. All right. Things that we can do to stabilize ourselves. Lots and lots of loss. And y'all take good care of yourself. Remember, distract, divide, destroy can only be offset by focus, unity, and building up things through hope. All right, good people. All right. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's Filter Free Friday, y'all. We got incredible work to do.